Bob Johnson with PK&W Modelwerx, PK&W Railroad, coming at you with another video. Apologies, my workshop is in a little bit of disarray, but I want to do a video about how I built this tool and overhead camera support over my workbench. And I also wanted to spend a little time talking to you about camera support. In particular, we'll talk about this Manfrotto super clamp and adjustable arm that I use for camera support, and you can see it mounted here on my overhead rig. This project is put together with 3/4 inch steel tubing that I got from a big box store, as well as I'm using these flanges as feet to attach to the top of the bench. Here's the packaging so you can identify this item. And also these, I don't know what you want to call this, elbows, I guess, to hold the vertical bar and allow me to move it around. Here I am positioning the flange and marking the screw holes on the desktop. And I'm going to attach it using these exterior screws that are gray that I thought would match the flange color. Here's a stop action, kind of a speeded up video of me installing one of the flanges, drilling pilot holes, and inserting the screws to mount the flange to the top of the workbench. Pretty prosaic process. Just probably would have gone faster if I'd used an electric screwdriver, but it's pretty hot out in the garage when I did this, and so I had to go get another screwdriver that I could hold better with my sweaty hands. And here we are, now finally able to finish up installing this flange. And when I'm done installing it, you're going to see I'm going to get an Allen wrench. I'm going to check that I can move the little locking screw in the shaft here, the flange, and install one of my 3-foot uprights. I had 3-foot upright. I bought a 6-foot length to use as the cross member, which I'm going to have to cut because it only needs to be about 5 feet across. But here I am tightening down the lock nut on the vertical member, and it has been installed. Now this is the elbow, I'll call it an elbow, T I guess is really what it is, that holds the horizontal member. Here I've inserted one end into the T on the other side, and I'm marking this side where to cut. Well, my old Black & Decker workmate that I reconditioned, that's probably from the early 70s, didn't really hold up, but boy, this new metal cutting blade on the Sawzall cut right through that pipe. And here it is installed. The horizontal member is installed in the T, and you can see the finished unit here with my camera support also installed on it. So you noticed that my overhead support, I had something like this attached to the horizontal arm. And this is actually two components. The first is here, and I'll take this off. The first component is this, which is called a super clamp. This happens to be a Manfrotto super clamp, but there's also a cheaper one made by Impact for about $20 to $25. I have one of those as well. It works great. This will clamp to just about any surface circular tubing, such as I have outside, but also all sorts of other surfaces, and it will hold probably 10 or 15 pounds at least, which is more than enough to hold what you're going to put on this arm. The other component of the camera support system that I use is this, which is a Manfrotto articulating arm, and these are about 60 bucks right now. This is 2022. About 60 bucks on Amazon or from B&H Photo. You might want to try B&H Photo for your supplies. Some things are cheaper, like the super clamp is actually cheaper at B&H by about 5 bucks than it is at Amazon. But this articulating arm, you can see it has a platform here to mount the camera to, and then it twists in all sorts of directions, allowing you to position your camera exactly where you want it. This articulating arm will not hold more than, a couple of pounds, so you're only going to want to use a small DSLR or something smaller than that. I use Canon M50 for all of my shooting, and so that's a small digital camera and perfect for using this arm to position your camera. So highly recommended if you're using cheap camera supports, or you're propping your camera up, taking a lot of time fiddling around trying to get your camera in exactly the right position using some sort of jack-legged apparatus. Using this and this together is going to save you a lot of time. You're going to be able to position your camera or a light or whatever you have mounted to it very quickly, so I highly recommend doing this. The overhead support that I've shown you is can be used for tools as well as for cameras, and look forward to my upcoming video. I've acquired the Micromark flexible shaft machine, and I'm going to be mounting that onto the overhead support as well. And I'll be doing a review comparing and contrasting the Micromark flex shaft machine with a standard Dremel tool. Just a quick time-lapse video showing what's possible with the overhead camera mount. Here I am tardily opening my mini prints Little Lionel Strang. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my demonstration of how I built this overhead support. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. I'm finally getting my shop together, so look forward to more videos about actual model builds in the future. Until then, keep on modeling.